Just take you over the car. So this is a GT40 Mark 1. It's probably the prettiest of the body shapes. Managed to get this in a private sale, not on the general market, so I think I got a pretty good deal on this one. It's in Ford Diamond White with blue sort of Ford stripes. Classic styling for quite a few of these. It was first registered 1st of January 1996, so she's coming up for quite a few years old, 26 years old. Absolutely pristine condition. Let's have a look inside. It's really built for a short ass like me, and the pedal box is perfectly adjusted for my size. Very much the standard dashboard with the two fuel gauges. Haven't got 4-point harnesses. She's very much on a sort of 3-point, but that's perfectly okay for now. Standard twin tanks, one in each still, but they are quite small. They're only 7.5 gallons a side, so that's about half the size we had in the GT40. Running 15-inch wheels, as that was more standard for the day. Just pop the rear clip. That's the sort of business end. So the quality of the finish is pretty outstanding, very much as she should be. Standard Ford 302 5-litre V8, but she is running the cast iron heads, so that's a job that's going to be done in the winter, and bring those up to spec with some aluminium ones. Try and increase the horsepower a little bit. She's just a tad under 300, but she only weighs 1100 kilograms, so we're getting close, but not on. We're getting close to 300 horsepower a ton, which is quite respectable. All round fully independent suspension. Got a Renault transaxle. Gears are a bit low for my liking. She tends to rev a bit more, and she's got a cable gear shift, which I'm not happy with. I don't like the feel of it, and a lot of people go for a rod change, so that's a job that's going to have to be done shortly. Also with this setup, I've got like a ZF, so first is towards you, second up, third down, fourth up, fifth out on a sort of dog leg. If you get a bit flustered behind the wheel and you resort to type, you can end up snatching the wrong gear if you use to sort of the standard setup. And obviously this being a race car, gear sticks on the right hand side. It's probably the only true race car that you can put on the road in all true respects. I mean, you've got Cobras as well, but everything else is really, I mean, this is a recreation. This is not a kit car by any stretch of the imagination. Exhaust is not the full crossover set. That's going to have to be done. It's okay as it is, but the noise is better with twin silencers at the back and a crossover exhaust like I had on the other one. That'll be done. And also she doesn't have an external oil cooler, so that's a job I'm going to do in the short term, just to give a little bit of extra cooling. The brakes, I've got new discs and brake set up at the back to give us some extra stopping power, and I've got a whole new set of front suspension which is fully rose jointed, give a little bit more flexibility. But everything's fine as it is. This all came with the car, as well as every receipt. It's one owner since new. It was assembled on the old SVA, not the modern IVA, and it's one owner since new. It's got about 20,000 miles on it, so it's quite drivable. It's less than 1,000 miles a year. You probably see the paintwork's pretty damn good. No complaints there. Still got her specs, coilovers. It's got AC as well, which was an absolute must. I drove this today and it would be unbearable without air conditioning. This firewall is quite thin and this lump generates a lot of heat. and the previous owner told me not in 26 years has the heater ever been put on with this car. So yeah, all in all, extremely happy with the quality, the look, the handling, and I'm looking at this for the first time like I'm showing you. It's got a lovely big Holly 700 cubic feet a minute carb. That might be changed in the longer term, but right now I intend to get some enjoyment out of this car and pick the jobs that I can do easily without having it off the road for a month or so. So that's the quick look over that quite a few people have been asking for. Oh, and you can see this car has never been out in the wet once in its 26 years. It's fitted with Avon road stroke race rubber, extremely simple tread pattern, hopeless in the wet, and I have no intention of taking this out in the wet either. There are no driver aids on this car, there's no traction control, there's no ABS. This does have power assisted brakes. The other one I did not. I wanted a more natural feel, but I think these have got racing pads because it's incredibly hard on the pedal even with power assistance. So there we are. Hope that will suffice for people that wanted to see a bit more in depth. More to follow at a later date. Looking forward to my 60th birthday. Well chuffed. Cheers everyone.